Andy with eyes to jesus.blogspot.com, and welcome as I give you a tour of my current planner setup. And if this is your first time watching any of my planner videos, I'm not going to do a top-down, up-close view because some of the stuff in my planner is personal, but you're going to see kind of, the general pages as I flip through my planner and explain some of these things. My more detailed planner tours are usually in January, where I'm given a detailed and sometimes top-down view for my planner for that year. But this is my monthly planner tour, where we're still going to go through my whole tour, and you get to see what planner cover I'm in, because I seem to have trouble just sticking to one planner cover. Thus, behind me, I have my planner covers out on my bookcase. So, I am still in personal size, and the planner cover that I am in is this. And this is a Daytimer portable size, and Daytimer portable size is the same as Filofax personal size. So this is a discontinued planner binder from Daytimer. In my opinion, probably the biggest mistake they've ever made was discontinuing this planner line. Around 2015, I think, through 2017, somewhere around there, they really had their act together. Daytimer did. They had the Flavia inserts, which rivaled Franklin Covey. The Flavia inserts were just fabulous. I loved both the week on 2 pages and the day on 2 pages. And they had the Malibu planners. And now you could also get this in what they call desk size, and that's the same as Franklin Covey classic size, and that was with 7 rings, and it took a half-size letter sheet of paper. And the Malibus are amazing. They were one of their top-notch made planners. A beautiful, genuine leather. Is a floppy planner, but not too floppy. It's not so floppy that it's actually just going to give you problems. So, barely at all structured. It's pretty much a floppy, bendy, comfortable planner. I love buckles, so I love the fact that the Malibus came with the buckles, and the buckle is removable. If you need your strap a bit longer, you can remove the buckle and it will give you a longer strap. So that is awesome. And the Malibus usually came with silver hardware and silver buckles, but this light pink line that they came out with, which was a second to the last color that they came out with in the Malibus, this one, this light pink, it came with rose gold hardware. So we have a rose gold buckle, and we got rose gold rings. The rings in Malibus are not removable, so if you ever need to change out rings in Malibus, you just kind of got to cut open on the stitching there at the bottom, pull out the backing, and work it like that. If you look at some of my older videos, I do show how to change out rings in a Malibu planner step by step, as I changed out rings in one of them and upgraded to bigger rings. So the portable Malibu planners came with 1-inch rings, and what's fabulous is the versatility. Now their pockets are perfect. It's a perfect amount of floppiness. It's a fabulous, beautiful leather. It's this beautiful pebbled leather. All of the Malibus came in. And what's really awesome about them is the footprint slightly larger than most, not all, but most of the personal size Filofaxes. So not only can you put personal size inserts in here, but it also fits Franklin Covey compact size inserts. And the Franklin Covey compact size inserts are wider than personal, but they're not as wide as personal wide. And that's what I have in here. All of my pages in here, including my planner pages, are all to the size of the Franklin Covey compact inserts. So let's jump in and we will get started. As I open it up, again, the snap to is rose gold, because all the hardware in this edition came in rose gold. And going inside, we'll go through pockets first. So in the front pockets, there's 3 card slots. I have my cards there. At the bottom, inside the window, is my washi card and some additional sticky notes, some bigger sticky notes. I say additional, so I have more sticky notes in my planner. The side pocket here, I just have some spending cash. Then there's a zipper pocket where I keep some change. Then we move to the back pockets. And this pocket down here, I just have Post-it arrows, and I just have this folded sheet of paper there just because I like to see something right at this edge when I have the planner open. It serves no other function than that. And then this pocket I have Avery dots, Avery labels, hole reinforcement stickers, and then more sticky notes, but smaller. And then this big pocket, you can fit so much in there because this planner is a floppy, not really structured planner. You can load it up. I mean, I have bills, deposits and withdrawal slips from my bank, postage stamps, church papers, all of that stuff folded into fours and in this back pocket. And I have so much more room for more. I mean, I could stick my whole hand in there. That's how big and floppy it is. What's also cute about this light pink edition is the fabric inside the pockets in this one is gray instead of their standard black that they usually did with most of the other ones. And you know, gray looks great with pink. So going through the planner, we flip to my first page. And so this is my welcome page, and this is a picture of my husband and I taken on our 25th wedding anniversary. We're coming up on our 26th, so we need to do another couples picture for that one. But of course, the 25th is a silver anniversary, so I had a silver sequin dress, and we actually had a little getaway for a few days. And then also that page is laminated cardstock, so it also functions as a front page lifter. And the other side of that page is a family photo. We try to take family photos every Thanksgiving, so this was last Thanksgiving. So next month we will hopefully be taking a new family photo. And then after that, I just have a few sheets of filler paper, and this is Franklin Covey Blooms filler paper, and it's my running grocery list. I'm just writing down things that I notice that I'm low on or out of, or that someone asks for in the family, etc. And it just gets written down here so I can reference it when I make my grocery list for each week. So flipping past those, we come to my first divider. My dividers are homemade. They're from my stash. I made them a few years ago. And I just put fresh labels on them last month with my label maker. P-Touch by Brother, fabulous. And my first divider is labeled Home, and it looks like this. And so this is my homemaking section. So the first page in homemaking is my daily cleaning. And right now I just have some stuff written there on a sticky note because it's hard to keep the same daily cleaning week to week because I have so much busyness going on with the family these days between my adult children, my youngest who's just about an adult, and my grandchildren, and my husband, and then my own personal projects and endeavors that sometimes I need to alter the cleaning schedule week to week. So that page is often under construction. And then the page after that is my deep cleaning and organization projects. And then this is my master grocery list. And I reference it. I just skim through it when I'm making my grocery list, and it just helps me visualize what I have and what I don't have. So if there's something I'm low on or out of that didn't get written on one of the pages more in the front of my binder, then this will remind me, skimming through my master grocery list. That's its main function. After that, I have breakfast ideas and lunch ideas. And then I have supper ideas. And I use these pages to help me in planning out and making our weekly menus. And all of those meal ideas also have suggested sides to go with them. And then after that, I have my Thanksgiving and New Year's menu. And then this facing page is my written out menu page. And this is just on some trimmed down list pad, magnetic list pad paper. And that's the last page in my homemaking section. So if I want to just turn to my menus page to see what I'm going to be cooking for that day or a future day in the week, I just need to turn to the last page in my homemaking section. So turning past that, my next divider is labeled recipes, and it looks like this. And the first page in recipes is a table of contents because I numbered all of my recipe pages. And my recipe pages are also in sections, and then each section, the recipes are in alphabetical order. So my sections are quick go-tos, breads and breakfasts, main meals, sides, baking, and special. So when I'm getting a recipe, I just use my table of contents, and then I just flip to the page for the section that my recipe would be in, and then I just flip through those pages in alphabetical order to find the recipe. So just recipes in this section. So my next homemade divider is labeled budget, and it looks like this. And the first page of my budget page is, I titled it a budget guide, and it's just a color-coded list on a little chart of all of our monthly bills and expenses. and then they're divided out to which paychecks during the month are which bills and monthly expenses assigned to. And so I reference this when I do my budget. And then after that, my budget section is just filler paper. I don't use specific budget forms. If you're looking for some pretty nice budget forms, some of the insert package deals at Franklin Covey, the more expensive ones, will come with not just your planning inserts, but they'll come with 6 dividers and budget planning pages, future planning pages, and a whole bunch of other type of pages, a whole starter set. I'm considering for 2024, I'm looking into possibly doing the 7 Habits inserts from Franklin Covey, and I know that comes with dividers, and then of course your full planning pages for the year, but also includes budgeting pages and all sorts of other different pages too that you can use, and forms, and a whole starter set. And then that one has this whole section on the 7 habits. I love that book, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So I'm considering getting that. I got Sandstone the last time I was in Franklin Covey Compact, and that was a 7 Habits special. I don't know if they still have it available, but when I checked, it's certainly not available in Compact anymore. So I don't know if they're going to bring that out or not, but I might just get their standard 7 Habits. So that's in my cart on franklinplanner.com as I'm thinking about it. But anyways, I probably wouldn't even use their budget pages, but they're pretty nice. I consider it every time I see them. So if you're looking to put together a planner and you're not wanting to try to make your own forms and pages or shop the Etsy shops or Amazon trying to find things, get one of the more expensive planner sets for your planner, like Bloom's, Monticello, and their originals. I know for a fact those just come with their inserts. They don't have the bells and whistles and the dividers and all the extra forms. I think Leadership, does, and 7 Habits does. Usually, if it doesn't say in the description, then look at the price. The more expensive ones are usually the full package. You can put together a full planner with one of those. The only thing you're missing is the binder. And you can always pick up a cheap binder too if you wanted to do one of those simulated leathers. So there's options. So yeah, on my filler pages that I'm currently using for the budget, I just write down the date of the check that I'm budgeting. I look at my budget guide and write down all of the bills and recurring expenses that's assigned to that check. I take a look at my calendar and I look at, okay, during the time of this check, what things are coming up that I need to budget for. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, appointments, etc. And then that gets factored in. And then I just write it all out on the filler paper. I mark things off when they clear the bank. When I've paid something but it hasn't cleared yet, I put a dot next to it so I know I paid it, waiting for it to clear, and as soon as it clears, it gets marked off. But before it clears, I know I need to keep subtracting it from the total even though I paid it. That's why I'll put a dot next to it. So I know I paid it, it hasn't cleared, so I have to keep subtracting it until it clears. So that's my budgeting section. Now my next divider is labeled Reference, and it looks like this. So Reference is a great section to have when you know you have a whole bunch of little things that you need to keep in your planner. But I mean, if you gave them all a divider, you would have a whole bunch of dividers, a lot of them with only 1 or 2 pages behind that divider. And then that's going to take up a lot of rooms in your rings because dividers are thicker. So instead, if you're like that, then a reference section is a great idea. So all my reference pages are numbered. So the first page in my reference section is a table of contents. And so I can just read you the table of contents, and that tells you what's in my reference section. I also have 3 different flags in my reference section for the 3 things that I access the most. 3 different colored flags. All right, so my sections are gift ideas, stock list, perpetual calendar, family information, directions, contacts, codes, health, food, and cars. And cars is like car information, last oil changes, mileage, stuff like that. The perpetual calendar is handy because I usually am only going to go to that when I'm setting up the monthly calendars for the next year, which I'll be doing here in December when I set up my 2024 planner. So that's a list of birthdays of friends and family, anniversaries, and annual events like that. So my next divider is labeled Assorted, and it looks like this. So Assorted is where it's this things that need to be in my planner, temporary. They're not going to be very long term. They're just notes and such. On the inner cover of Assorted, I have this messy sheet of paper on an A7 sheet when I was in my A7 pocket size. And it's text shortcuts that I have programmed into the keyboard on my phone of scriptures. So sometimes I go online and I evangelize or I witness, telling people the gospel of Jesus Christ, or I'll go online with new converts and do Bible studies with them. And so I notice that there's a whole bunch of main scriptures that I go to the most. So if it's a scripture that I notice that I'm using a lot, then I'll program that scripture into my keyboard and then I'll make a quick code. So I just need to type that little code and boom, the whole scripture or scriptures comes up. So I just keep my codes here, and I'm probably the only one that understands them. I can read the code and then boom, I know which scripture or scriptures that's referring to. And then the page facing that, this is the Planner Quick Start Guide that does come with all Franklin Covey Planner inserts. It's just one sheet of paper. I just love rereading it from time to time because it's awesome. Then they got the productivity pyramid on the other side. All right, and then after that, I have different sizes for different planners. I tend to have my planner files on my computer in different sizes for when I'm changing sizes. But there's like reductions, and reductions would be maybe if you're printing out something off the internet that you want to put into your planner, or you've made forms and inserts for your planner, but they're just in regular size, but you're going to print them at a reduction to trim them and punch them and put them in your planner. For classic or desk size, that's half letter size. Usually that's the 7-ring system, but this will also work close enough for A5s. You want to reduce to 64%. For compact size or personal size, 56%. For Franklin Covey pocket size or Filofax A7 size, 42%. Now, here's the thing. These are the percentages that I found that work with my Microsoft Word and my printer. I think these are probably universal, but I'm really not sure. I haven't used anything else. So if it doesn't work for you, just tweak the reductions a bit, then write down those percentages when you find the ones that work for you. And then I have margins. Margins is what I usually use when I am making inserts and an inserts file. So I don't make the planner inserts, but I print out like all of my recipes, and a lot of the pages in my reference section, my whole homemaking section, etc. All these things are printed out from a file on my computer, and I will set the margins on that file, and then I'll put all the stuff in there when I have the margins set. And then with the proper margin settings, then when I print, it's going to be at the proper size to cut, punch, and put into my planner. So the margins that have been working for me for years now is for classic size. I actually have found I usually don't even bother playing with the margins. I will just put it on regular margin settings, but when I print it, I will print it as a duplex booklet. And then I take it out, and then it's already double-sided with everything in the proper spot, and then I just can cut it, trim it, punch it, put it in. But personal or compact size, for that one I do 2.75 on all four. So top and bottom margins, 2.75, 2 inches, 0.75, and then same with both sides. For pocket, the top and bottom margins I set to 3.25 inches, and then the left and right margins I set to 3.05 inches. And then I just print it out, whatever size I chose. I'll take a blank sheet of paper or even a used sheet of paper in the size that I'm working on, and then I just draw some lines where the edges are. I don't have to trace the whole paper. I just draw some line where the edges are, and then I use that as a guide to cut my pages. And I can cut several or more pages at the same time with my paper cutter. I just clip groups of pages together with binder clips. And then you just punch them and put it in. And I use a single hole punch instead of one of those multi-punches because I use a crocodile. And with the crocodile, even though it's single hole, I can punch a whole bunch of sheets of paper at the same time with no problem. Where if I was using one of those multi-punches, I'd probably have to take the thick stack that I punch with my crocodile and break it up possibly into several smaller stacks. So it's actually quicker to use a single punch when I use a crocodile. All right, so yeah, and then other notes that I have here in my assorted section is I also have Bible notes on the shades and the Rephaim in the Bible. If you're interested in this type of topic, let me just list these scriptures really quick. What I would suggest you do is use a Young's literal translation, and you can see that online at BibleGateway.com, for example, and look up all these scriptures in the Young's literal translation, and then go into whatever translation Bible you're reading, and if it doesn't say Rephaim or shades, where Young's literal translation says Rephaim, you should correct that. Most Bibles will translate the dead Rephaim as dead spirits, and people think that's dead people, and it's not. It's the dead Nephilim. All right, so the scriptures you want to look for that is Job 26:5, Psalms 88:10, Proverbs 2:18, Proverbs 9:18, Proverbs 21:16, Isaiah 14:9, that's huge, Isaiah 26:14, and Isaiah 26:19. Isaiah 14:9 through 11, I believe, actually matches the Greek mythology of the shades in Hades / Sheol and how they are weak. It's fascinating to study. Okay, and then after that, I have some perimenopause and menopause notes on research that I'm doing. And then I have homeschool stuff for my youngest. She's almost done with homeschool, so I don't even keep a homeschool section or a kids section anymore. I just keep her homeschool stuff here in my assorted section. After that, that's all I have is blank filler paper, balloons, lined filler paper. My Franklin Covey compact size. It matches my planner inserts. And I keep that there if I need to, like, for example, if I'm going to a meeting, a seminar, or a class, or I'm studying something, I need to write out notes, then I'll turn to my sorted section. I'll turn to a blank sheet of paper and write out my notes there. And then I might take one of my arrow flags that we saw in one of my back pockets here in my planner, and then just use that as a temporary tab on those notes if it's something that I'm going to be turning to and referencing a lot while I'm taking a course or something, for example. And then this is also the section I come to when I need more filler paper anywhere else in my planner for grocery lists, budgeting, whatever it may be, etc. So after that, we come to my last divider, and it's labeled planning, and it looks like this. And here's more sticky notes, the long grid paper post-it sticky notes. Some of my favorite sticky notes ever. So I just have them stuck to the front of my divider for whenever I need one. And then inside planning, the first page is a kind of a cardstock-like page that came with the Franklin Covey Bloom inserts. You're supposed to write your personal information there. I never do. I just stuck a sticky note there so something was there. On the other side is year at a glance for 2023 and 2024. And then this is a sheet of paper that came with my inserts. It's holidays and observances. And then after that, we get into my inserts. So I have a full year of month on 2 pages tabbed in here. I always like to have the full year of months in any of my planners in case I need to look back at something, or most of the time it's so that I can look forward a month or two in advance at something. So the Franklin Covey inserts, they come with their months tabbed. That's why my planning section is the last section. Otherwise, the tabs for the months can obscure your divider tabs that are after them. So that's why I suggest in this type of setup with these type of inserts, I suggest going to want to have your planner section be your last main section. So if we flip to October, you have where you can track things, write things down, for example, if you had something important in your notes that you wrote down that you might need to reference and you don't want to lose it, then you can write the date of the page where you wrote that thing in your notes, in your planning notes, and then just a quick little title or description of that so that you'll know, oh, that was the date I wrote such and such. So then you can flip in your archives or in your planner to that date and look at those notes. All right, and then month on 2 pages. So let me turn to one that's more blank. Let's see here. Here we go. Okay, December is kind of blank. So, yeah. So their squares are lined, which I find that I do prefer. It helps kind of divide out. Since I have the line, if I'm writing, for example, like maybe 4 different things in one square, they can each just get their own line, and the lines divide them out for me. So I find it handy. All right, and then I'm on day on 2 pages, Franklin Covey Blooms, compact size. So here's my first page. And then my page divider is not Franklin Covey. I think it's Moterm, but I'm not sure. I just grabbed it from my stash. And then I have my laminated master to-do list. And then the other side, same master to-do list on the other side. So I can see my master to-do list no matter which of the 2 pages I'm on. And this is my second page for my day on 2 pages. So if I flip to the next day, that one is blank. You can take a look. If you'd like, you can pause and take a look at the day on 2 pages. So yeah, so the first page, that's where you're going to write your tasks, and the planner quick start guide that comes with them will explain more how to most efficiently use your tasks and what certain checkoffs or bullets mean if you want to use their system. And then under tasks is a tracking section. I love that. And then you have your appointment schedule timed over here, and then you have a notes page. So I find it really handy. I'll write down my tasks, and sometimes I have different little bullets I draw on if it's a different certain type of task that I want to draw my eye to. I do my tracking in the tracking section of whatever I'm tracking at a time. It could be financial, health, a project, or a combination of all 3, or something else. And then in the appointment schedule, usually I don't write my whole day schedule because I kind of already have that whole flow in my master to-do list. But if it's a day where my schedule has to be significantly different than my usual, I will write it out there. Otherwise, I just write down usually like meal times when I'm doing certain routines, and then if we have appointments or places we're going to, when those are and what time I need to leave for those, etc. And then for that type of stuff, I put alarms on my watch that I have synchronized to my planner. So if an alarm goes off on my watch and I don't remember what it's for, I just need to look at that time slot in my planner, and then I'll see what that's for. And then the note page, I write down the planned meals for that day and the cleaning for that day, and then I have room for notes and scribbles. Or if it's like a Wednesday or a Sunday, then I might be writing down Bible study notes from church, etc. So while I keep the whole month in here, month on 2 pages, for day on 2 pages, I only have 1 month in here. I only have October in here because these are 1-inch rings, and so I don't want to overstuff them. So I just keep 1 month in there. Now, the very last page in my whole planning section is a sheet of filler paper, and at the top I wrote 2024 plus. That's my future planning page. Now, a lot of inserts from Franklin Covey come with future planning pages, but there are multiple sheets of pages. I only need 1 sheet of paper, and I need to save real estate on my rings, right? So I only need 1 sheet of paper. I don't need to use several. So I just write out my future planning on a sheet of filler paper that's in the back of my planning section that stays there all year. After that, we come to my back matter. So these are my plastics, where I just have various doodads and things in my plastic. I have zipper envelopes, top loading envelopes, etc. And then after my plastics, I just have a page lifter, just so my stuff doesn't curl around the rings. By the way, Franklin Covey planners, remember this is a day timer, but Franklin Covey planners come with page lifters. I don't know if Daytimer does or not, and if they do, I don't know if that's consistent. But I have so many page lifters in my stash just from years of getting planners, whether it's from Franklin Covey or if I got some on eBay, etc. So I always have plenty of page lifters. So this concludes the October tour of my planner. Notice I kind of gone pink. I don't really like autumn. I despise pumpkin flavored and scented things. In my opinion, a pumpkin is a decorative gourd, and everybody's eating decorative gourds and liking it. I think it's disgusting. So I'm a summer girl, so this is me saying goodbye to summer, but still keeping the summer vibe a little bit and the spring vibe. And this concludes my planner tour. Have a blessed day.